He's retired.
Are you ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. I'll read the first check. It's Kristen Patch, $497.80. That was easy.
That was easy.
Tell me when you guys are ready.
Ready when you are.
Andrea Beckham, 630, Joseph Bird, 923.64, Katie Blazik, Ahern, $600.89, Kendra Brackett, 524.21, John Bryant, 543.03, Karen Clement, $1,098.37, Jeffrey Collins, 703.80, Katie Coppola is 201.78, Alyssa Sanuski is 162.54, Kiki Donis Wall is 685.78, Robert Gagnon is 428.07, Shayla Gherkin is 87.73, Andrew Gray is 508.14, Julie Brodzinski is 61.42, Mary Lyons Hall is 230.99, Kip Kaiser is 773.01, Joyce Keegle is 553.49, Matthew Kelly is 679.54, Kevin Nealon is 794.27, Timothy Levante is 413.36, Sawyer Marquis is 25.39, Sarah Parker is 726.82, Wayne Robinson is 946.12, Richard Sawyer is 1,007.34.72, Stephen Forza is 1,083.97, Christopher Spitaleri is 1,245.28, Katrina Tennant is 586.93, Josh Turner is $24.11, Daniel Wicks is $1,147.50, Janice Weirs is 779.19, Jeremy Wester is 645.28, Daphne Ross is 711.27, Jerry Wright Ward is 840.86.
For a total of $21,107.80.
We have a grand total of $21,605.60.
Tell me when you gents are ready. Ready?
Good to go.
Aiden's Garage, $113. Block 5 Technologies, $270.50. Car Parts of Epping, $19.06. Citizens Bank is $41.85. Comcast is $198.95. Evan Crafts, $25. E&J Auto Parts is $387.01. Eversource is $552.14.
Hold on one second. Eversource 552.14.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we got First Light is $172.08. Brentwood Emergency Vehicles is $480. GK Planning LLC is $5,072.50. Hartman Oil.
Can we pause for 1 second?
Sure.
What is that? What is GKG?
That's Glenn Greenwood from the planning board.
Oh, okay. All right, thanks.
Hartman Oil and Propane, $3,341.39. Health Trust Inc. is $23,929.29. The Hope Group is $408.11. Joyce Keegle is $58.24. Lake Regions Fire Apparatus is $454.99. McCoy's Alignment and Towing is $125. Morgan's Towing Repair is $85. New Hampshire Fish and Game is $451. Treasurer State of New Hampshire is $231. Pike Industries is $1,215.24. Rockingham County Registry is $8.58. Rome Construction is $540. Seacoast Mills Building Supplies, $11.21. Starkey Welding and Crane Services is $201.50. Stratum Tire is $120. Suburban Propane is $546.13. Title Communications $207.54. 24, UniFirst Corp. is $114.38, Valak is $186.45, Vinyl Tech Graphics is $50, WM Corp. Services is $8,782.90, WB Mason is $214.33, Daphne Wass is $21.99.
Grand total $49,346.36.
Overtime, we had 6 hours in the PD for shift coverage, nothing in the fire department, and 1 in the highway department.
I make a motion for the minutes.
We have a motion for the minutes, do we have a second?
Second.
John,
Second.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Abstention from,
Abstain.
Motion for non-public.
do we have a second?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have 1 abstention. Motion carries.
Waste management, we pay them for what? Because we use Casella for,
Waste management is the disposal charge for the tonnage, so Casella does
But
the
it's through
collection,
Casella,
and then the
okay.
landfill is through waste management.
Also known as tipping fees.
Tipping.
Which,
Not sure how that came about, but
when we get into the whole budget thing, you'll see there's a whole thing in
I
there.
gotta ask these questions, I know what's going on. $8,700, a lot of money for a tipping fee.
Yep.
big tip.
Well, if we don't pay them, then we have it in your backyard, Joe.
It's gotta go somewhere.
Fair enough.
They're the only game in town, as they say. Madam, it's your show.
Sir. The PS balance is $3,557,765.88. The deposits were $29,802.42. The payroll was $21,605.60. Payroll tax, $5,262.82. The AP is $49,346.36, leaving the account balance at $3,511,353.52, with interest earned year-to-date $1,743.05.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Building permits. Adam Rowerdink, 5 Wendell Drive, remodel master bathroom. William Whittier, 438 Middle Road, install 66-inch tubes to support existing porch. James Scott, 49 Route 127, Route 107, install a generator and install 1-inch underground gas line. Charles Evans, 232 Middle Road, replace shingles on barn. King Family Trust, 73 Middle Road, install 200 amp panel and 30 amp sub panel. Michael Foy, 143 South Road, build 45 by 100 barn garage. Karen Tellier, 55 Prescott Road, remodel bathroom. And Joan Lively, 14 Lab Road, install 3-zone heat pump.
We're gonna do the notes.
I have an application from current use that was never signed by the board from 2005. So I just need that signed so that I can get it recorded at the registry.
You need a motion or is it approved or?
I can go through looking through the vault to see if it's already.
Why don't you make a
I'll make
motion?
a motion that we.
What is this?
It's a current use. The application was dated 3/29/05, but it was never properly recorded.
Okay.
We have a motion on the floor, do we have a second?
What is the property? Is it
It's Gordon Wilson's property on Mill Road.
seven?
We have a second, all in favor?
All right.
All right.
So it was originally in current use in the 70s. That application wasn't on file. It transferred to Gordy sometime, and then he filed the application when they did the DRA assessment to make it official, but it wasn't recorded. So we just have to record at the registry, that's all.
Can you write that again to us?
See that Gordon Wilson's property
Yeah.
was entered into current use in March of 2005.
Okay.
They never signed.
It was
for
never signed and was not recorded. So what we did is we signed it and it will be recorded,
Okay.
okay?
Just check.
Thank you. Wayne brought in the estimate for salt.
Sitting down for that.
This price, this one was for
Okay.
67.
Where's the price on this one?
This one is this price 60.
Oh, okay. The Morton salt is $68.55 a ton. Eastern Metals, Inc. is $67 a ton. Now, because of the difference in price, Wayne has always used Morton salt because when you're on their list, they never forget you, and if you run out, they supply it. If we leave Morton salt and go to any other vendor, then the town of Brentwood goes to the bottom of the list. And if you run out of salt, you're out of luck.
What was Wayne's,
What's
what is,
that?
so Wayne's thoughts are to stay with?
Right,
who we have.
it's always been his contention that we stay with Morton salt. Anything you wish to add?
That?
You wish to add anything to that?
No,
Nope.
fine.
We award the subcontract to Morton.
Okay, we have a motion to award it to Morton. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
You're good to go?
No, there's no place for signature.
It's just,
Yeah, there's a page there, yeah. There is one in there, so that's,
Okay.
Good.
Any other items?
just budgets. Everything that's in here is non-public empty budgets.
Okay. Mr. Murphy,
Yes, sir.
could you take the pink sheet, please?
I'm gonna stop them right here.
Good
Emergency
evening.
management's level funded 14,875. I'm gonna make a motion.
Well, we have to put a caveat. He has to buy a clock.
I have to buy a clock.
With the caveat that you have to buy a clock.
You can probably buy a clock out of this building.
Probably.
It has to be a big clock for Ken.
Well, I want to see it from Lindy's.
From Wendy's.
The last one you could see from the space station,
And you broke it.
and they broke it.
He shut the door and broke.
So are there any questions on?
None at all. We have a motion.
Second? Yeah. He's got it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, sir.
There's one thing I would like to add on the budget, although it's incorporated within our budget scheme. I would like the board to explore the option to increase the wage of both Paul and myself. In the 12 years that I've been emergency management, that has never increased, and Wayne pays me more to plow. So it's something that I would like the board to take a look at.
Currently, what, you make $20 an hour?
Correct.
Okay. So what is your suggestion?
$23.50.
Oh,
And
that's
for your
cheap.
deputy?
I'm sorry?
And for your deputy?
Same.
I think that's fair. I'll make the motion that we increase the salary for the emergency management director and his assistant from 20 to 23.50.
And you said you've been doing it for how long?
12 years.
That's about 11 cents a year.
Director should be higher than the assistant, but
So you would make it 25, because that's what he gets for plowing? Easy.
makes bookkeeping easier.
It
Okay.
does, because we always short him on one.
I'll amend my motion. The director gets 25 and the deputy gets 24. Fair enough?
I'll do a second. I made a motion, I guess, whatever. I'll make
All in
that
favor?
today.
Aye.
Alright,
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that.
quick question.
Yes,
The
sir.
Seabrook Station
Yes,
line
sir.
item, what does that entail?
So each quarter,
Yeah.
as part of being part of the EPZ communities, we have to submit paperwork to the state of New Hampshire stating that we've gone through our checklists, making sure our equipment and everything like that is properly set up for our EOC. In return, we are reimbursed by Seabrook Station for a certain amount each quarter, equaling up to $8,500. That is a flat fee that is paid to the communities throughout the entire EPZ to manage their programs, keep their plans up to date, any equipment that may need to be purchased for the EOC, et cetera, et cetera. At one time, we used to have to submit a itemized budget, and each town was different. So Karen, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe about 5 years ago, Seabrook decided through the state of New Hampshire that they would go to a flat fee, provided these things were met. So this money is paid to the town, provided I submit the paperwork each quarter.
So it's an in and out.
So, we've been doing it so far this year, I assume?
Yes, sir.
So why or I guess I'm trying to follow, I'm assuming, I can't see the top line, but I'm assuming it's this year budget, this year actual, next year requested.
Yep.
So, are the actuals,
It's in column 4.
the actuals are in column, so 7, or no, number 4.
Number
Number
4.
4.
So when there's nothing there,
Right, so we haven't expended anything there.
so why do we have I guess my question is, why do we have a line item for $8,500 if it's income?
So we have the income on the revenue side, and then we have to appropriate the amount on the expense side.
In order for him to spend it, it has to be
The
appropriated.
appropriation.
But I thought
So if he
it,
doesn't use it, we don't spend it, but we still get the $8,500 into
and then where does that,
general fund.
General
General
fund.
fund.
it goes, it pops into
Yes, sir.
general fund? Okay.
So this would be a situation if I had to buy additional cones for traffic control points, sawhorses, we put money towards one of the lighted traffic signs.
Right.
So anything that we can show that is emergency management orientated, that also applies to, that we could use for the EPZ communities, that's normally what we see that money used for.
It makes perfect sense, it's just, it's hard to track
Understood.
on here.
If you look at page 11 of the packet that Karen passed out tonight, is the current budget for him and what he's expended and what he's used.
Of course, this coming year, Murph, why don't you explain the drill process for the 2 new selectmen?
Sure. Seabrook goes through a 2-year cycle of licensure through FEMA. So the drill cycle was, of course, suspended during the pandemic. Although we met all our goals, we had one practice drill prior to everything coming to a halt. They satisfied the FEMA qualifications and everything went forward for that licensure period. We are coming up to a new licensure period, so they've already started the process where I've gone to a workshop describing what they're looking for this year. I've gone to one tabletop exercise. We will have one practice drill, I believe, in December. The next one will be after the first of the year, and then the graded exercise, the graded exercise will be held, I believe, sometime in April. And that's where we basically come in, go through our steps as a EPZ community through the EOC, and they grade us on that aspect.
It takes in most of the departments in the town, a selectman, the town clerk, Murphy's people, the fire department, police department, we all get together and we go through, usually it's a 3 to 5 hour drill. And you anticipate 3 this year. Or one this
There
year.
was always 2 practice
Right.
and then 1 graded.
And the last time that we did this, that I was aware of, we did outstanding. The people from FEMA just couldn't accept it. And we did so well.
We have not had any,
Except that they couldn't believe it.
Yes,
we have had no deficiencies in any of our drills.
Awesome.
Which was awesome that you explained it before, you know, we all came to me especially, so if you need help with that, let me know.
Thank you.
Well, we always
I
need
mean,
a Board of Selectmen member.
exactly, so I'll definitely be the one to help you out with all that.
Like, who's our new Heidi?
Her name is, you had to ask me, Jordan. And she is relatively new, but she's representing us, Greenland, Hampton Falls, and I believe Rye. So she took over for Ryan.
we all set?
Any other questions?
Thank you very
No,
much.
thanks very much.
No, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. I guess it's you.
Legal budget?
Yeah.
I have kept level funded, so 3625 is engineering fees and driveway permit fees, which we would pay to TEC. Town council, I have left level funded, and perambulations and payments to IRS, I left at $1 each.
Are we supposed to do preambulations? Because I don't remember the last time
Where's
one's
the-
been done.
The last time I did one was when Jeff was on the board, I think he did it with Exeter. Kingston has put an RFP out to do theirs, and so I asked Kathy to let me know how much the RFP comes back in so that we can kick in for there.
Now, don't we all have it on GPS?
No,
We do not.
The one that
Not
Jeff
yet.
did was on GPS.
Right, that's what I thought.
but the others aren't.
Oh, okay.
So
Make a motion?
Well,
Okay, good.
I didn't know if preambulations are, we're supposed to every
7 years.
7 years go out with a representative from another town and find the town line markers. When Jeff Bryant did it with Exeter, they actually did GPS technology so they can be found again. But the other ones are just like, take a left at the wooden oak tree and walk 5 paces.
That might be chopped down.
It
Got
it
blown
can be
over
pretty
in the ice
interesting.
storm.
Yeah.
So at some point, we do have to get with the towns and do
Do GPS.
GPS preambulations.
Sounds good.
All right, so you're waiting for the,
Yeah, but I can't imagine it would be that much. I would think that the attorney's fees could offset. how
Yeah, as
much
long as you have a
it
dollar, you can spend it.
yeah, okay, all right.
So I make a motion for the 2627.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Let's talk trash.
trash.
It's
So-
exciting.
You'll actually see a decrease in the trash budget for 2021. The reason is, so we signed on with Casella in 19, and then if you remember, they didn't include the travel time up to Rochester Turnkey, so we had a catch-up fee in 2020.
Okay, let's stop there. John, we also used to drop stuff off in Haverhill, to the big burn center, but because of their closing or their capacity, the stuff that we had usually sent there now goes to Rochester. So there was an increase over and above the agreed contract with Casella.
That's frustrating.
Well, it was, but it made perfect sense because at the time that they did the RFP, we were still using that facility.
Yep, makes sense.
So these rates reflect the 21-22 budget cycle with Casella, and then the tonnage fees. So everything's on a 4% escalator, but it's still a decrease in the budget of about $10,000.
So the total budget is 468,452.
Yes, for collection and disposal.
I make a motion for the 468,452 as we're contracted on.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
That was easy.
Okay.
Karen, on the landfill fees,
Yes.
it looks like we're about just under 60% of actuals this year,
Yes.
roughly. Obviously, we're more than 60% of the way through the year. Are we how does that happen? Is there gonna be like a catch-up payment, or?
No, so that's based off of, so the tonnage for trash is a set fee,
Yeah.
but the rate for recyclables, which we have to pay for tipping fees on recyclables now, which is new with this contract, that's on a variable rate, so it depends on the market. So they gave us sort of a cap of a price of what we can expect that recycling tonnage to be, and our average recycling tons is 400. So I base the budget off of if we have to max out every time, what that would be, so that we don't go over budget.
Okay.
So for the trash, I took the average, I mean, we have a long history with trash, so I took the average recycling, the average trash tonnage, multiplied it by the tonnage, the tipping fee to come up with the trash side, and then for recycling, I just took the high side times the 400 average and added those two figures.
And then what happens when, if we have money left over at the end of the year?
It would just stay in the general fund.
Unless, is there an unless there?
Well, so then, right, so, so
It
money
just
that you
goes into
haven't
the next,
expended, you can use towards offsetting the tax rate next year.
got it.
And we usually have to keep a certain percentage, right?
Between 5 and 7 is what you generally
Retain.
select.
What is white goods?
White goods is like your washing machines, dryers.
They buy
Those
tape,
kinds of
the
things.
tags for
So we do pick those up?
if they buy
Oh, the $5 tag,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah.
In 2015, China cut all
Recycling, I know, I saw that, yeah.
Currently, number one plastic, cardboard is still being sold, so we are making some money in those two areas, but that's it. Paper and the rest of it, basically, if there is a sale, it's a very minor sale. At one time, it was $25 a ton or whatever. I think it might be less than $2 at this point. Is that it?
For publication, yes.
Okay, that's the end of the public session, except for one thing. At the school board's meeting last Monday, it was reported that the Department of Education for New Hampshire was going to return to Swayze $133,059.44. And at that time, they were told, the school board, that they had two options: to use the money or do nothing, and it goes into the general fund for unrestricted balance. And the school board voted 5-0 to do nothing. So the tax rate will be offset by that amount of money. However, we do not know when the money's coming. Melissa, do you know?
I don't know, but it's supposed to offset the upcoming tax rate.
Well, that means we have to receive it in the next couple of
By
weeks.
November, right? I thought that was, I can double check with Mario, keeping it back if you'd
I
like.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay. That ends our public session. Any- No, they will never let me get rid, go ahead, John.
Economic Development Committee.
Oh, okay.
If you would just bear with me for a moment.
You have 1 minute,
I may take more than that, but I'll try.
48 seconds.
So with the, with the unanimous support of the planning board, again, we've chosen some names based on the ideal qualifications and requirements that Darren gave me and us as we were setting up this committee, and also we talked about trying to keep the committee as small as possible. So I didn't receive any further emails after our last meeting, so the names Stephanie Beaver, Brandon Stover, Robert Spann, Bob Rossman, Derek Butts, Patrick Farrell, and then I've already described how Darren Winham will be involved as a voluntary strategic advisor to the committee. And then based on the discussion with Darren and the specific requirements we were looking for, the planning board supports the creation of the committee to include Robert Spann as our legal expert, Bob Rossman as our commercial real estate expert, Patrick Farrell, Farrell, as our PR expert. I'll be on the committee. Mac Bonafide, Bonafede, lives over on Pickpocket, has spoken directly with Darren. He and I have not had a conversation, but Darren says his qualifications as a data expert would be exceptionally valuable for the committee. And then we, I think, rightly decided to request that an official planning board member sit on the committee. Bob, I think that was your suggestion. They nominated Andrea, oh my gosh.
Kristen Aldrich.
Kristen Aldrich, thank you.
Beats me.
So those will be, with your support, those will be the members of the committee. And then the other individuals, Stephanie Beaver, Brandon Stover, and Derek Butts will be, I'll have a conversation with each one of them and ask them to join us at the meetings and
As alternates, or-
as alternates.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys will be getting appointment slips for the main core and the alternates?
Yep.
Cool.
That would be the plan. And then I'd like to start meeting next Wednesday at 6 or at 7, depending on the availability of the members, if that is okay.
What other meetings do you have in here?
Conservation meets the second Wednesday of the month, so if they're on first and third, then that's okay, there's no conflict. You have a key and alarm code, so you can let yourself in and lock it back there.
We'll discuss that key and alarm code thing, because I don't think I do have those, but that's, so if we could do a quick vote to make sure that that is official, that would be,
So John's looking for a motion to accept the names as recorded.
I think John should make the motion.
I so moved.
Oh, that's fine.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Andy, you're
There's
up.
a question in the audience.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Liz,
Yeah, I have a question. Did you say that the economic development guy from Exeter is gonna be on a voluntary basis?
That's
Or is he
correct.
paid?
Yep,
Okay,
no
'cause
problem.
I thought I read somewhere that he was paid. My only concern, with that gentleman is that I know he's been in Exeter for a while now, but I noticed in Exeter, there were a lot, especially the downtown area, there were a lot of duplication in the businesses that were there. Like 3 ice cream people, 3 coffee people, 3 pie people, that kind of thing. And not 3 chocolatiers, whatever, a couple, 2, 3 wine places in a fairly small area. And I was really concerned about the lack of diversity and the concentration, like the new people coming in, you know, the 3rd chocolatier when they were already, you know, there wasn't a lot of differentiation of choice, and that really bothers me. So I didn't know, I would just hope that the committee would, I was kind of concerned about how this committee came to start. Just an idea, or,
Okay, well, thank you, I appreciate your comments.
okay.
First, we're getting a bunch of dentists that are coming in. Take care of the chocolate.
If I could just follow up on that, what does the committee hope to accomplish, what in your opinion?
Thanks for the question. What we're really looking to do is create a vision and a plan that we can move forward with for the economic development of the town. Not having a plan really puts us at a disadvantage when there's kind of rampant development happening to our north and somewhat to our south as well. And I think that the
Does it
majority.
dovetail into the master plan?
What's that?
Does it dovetail into the master plan?
There will be some integration with the master plan, that's correct.
And do you anticipate changing the commercial zones that we have already?
The committee is gonna evaluate all the options that we have at our disposal.
I have a different suggestion. You guys are hard to hear,
Yeah.
so I would suggest that maybe you spend a few bucks in the next couple months and get some kind of a system that kind of amplifies your voices, if you will.
well, normally there's only 2 people in here, so we don't turn it on, but we do have the system.
Okay. I thought you did, I just didn't know that.
Yeah, I think these speakers are working.
Yeah.
It's, the other issue we get is we do get echo feedback
Yeah.
We gotta unplug the front too, because they're too close to the mics now.
Oh, okay, I wondered why.
And in terms of the Exeter chocolate places, there are two chocolate stores, and they're completely different from each other. If you've gone into each and one or the other, they differ. It's like going into get a Budweiser or getting, a craft beer. They're two different stores. Spend the time going in and checking them out.
More than two.
I think they're three. but-
Well, I'm just talking about the two that are on the same street at that point, but they're completely different. Spend the time, go visit them, spend some money there, and you'll see that they're two different stores. Well, congratulations.
All right.
They're all still chocolate places.
Okay,
They're completely different chocolate places out. So why don't you try to taste some, and then you'll see the differences instead of just,
She's the wrong person.
all right, let's cut that out. Andy, you had something you wanted to say?
Yes, for the past 3 meetings, I've been saying we need to discuss the budgetary process. For some reason, we
Okay,
keep
well,
on
you got the
discussing.
floor, go right
He
ahead.
wanted to wait, he wanted to wait until we had a full board.
Yeah.
So what is the board's idea of what we're directing department heads for wage increases, budget increases, level funded, decreases?
I think we need to look at ideally, I'd love to see level funded, but it's not gonna happen. And I think we need to really look at the wages because the inflation is going up. And I'd be curious to see what the inflation rate is, number one. Number two, I know Karen was doing some like wage survey stuff that she was looking into also.
Well, at the direction of the budget committee, there was a survey done of 7 communities. What is your idea on this?
We just need to give the department's head direction.
Yeah.
My personal opinion is I like to see the increases all lumped into wages so we can retain people. Highway guys aren't making a whole lot of money, town office staff isn't making a whole lot of money. I mean, when McDonald's is paying $18 an hour now,
And Walmart distribution is 24.84 or something like that now.
Well, I don't think there's any disagreement amongst the 5 of us.
right, but we need to direct the department head somewhere so they know what we're expecting when they come in front of us.
Okay. Well, when we go into non-public, we're gonna be talking about the,
Can't talk about that in non-public.
well, no, there's other reasons we're gonna be talking about it.
Right,
You can discuss
My-
compensation in non-public.
In terms of like a bullet pointed direction from my individual perspective is I would like to see us be as professional and competitive a town as we possibly can in terms of the staff that serves the people of Brentwood. So we know that this is a huge challenge, and that's the direction that if it was just me, that's what I would ask the department heads to look at. How do we make ourselves more competitive? And please look at the wages and
Well,
what's
I'm not
out.
sure 3% is gonna do what you just suggested, or what Bob just suggested, or what you suggested.
Well, I'm not asking for 3, I'm asking for what is gonna be competitive.
Well, that's what
gonna
I'm
help us
saying,
to
I don't
attract
think
and retain.
3 would reach the pinnacle that you're asking.
I'd agree with you.
but if we're asking for that, we probably also should ask that we not buy new cars or new equipment or other major expenses in the budget if we want to focus on the pay.
I think we need to really focus on the pay and get everyone up to where we can have them at, so we're competitive. And we really need to look at what's the cost of inflation, so we can do those adjustments.
Well, I think it's too early for COLA. I think maybe in a week or two.
Yeah, I know it's gonna
The
be.
Commerce
pretty
Department
soon, so-
publishes it annually, but I haven't seen anything. Have you?
No, but I know the inflation has been pretty.
That, and we're also going to get hit with huge fuel increases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, our propane provider won't even give us a lock-in rate. So,
But oil will be locked in at 234.
Jonathan, anything?
I was just agreeing with her.
Oh, okay.
That's all I was doing.
Any other questions or comments?
Anything else from the public? Yep, yeah.
Letty?
I have a question about current use. How does that stay with the property or does it stay with the owner?
It stays with the property until there's a reason to remove it from current use. So when development occurs, or.
Okay, so that property is currently pending sale, that's what I was asking.
So that property was originally put into current use like back in the 70s, and then it transferred to Gordy, and then, so they wanted a new application filed with his name on it, and that application was filed. So the original, I mean, it's been in current use for decades.
But it just was a technicality.
Yeah.
paperwork error.
So before they develop that, they'll have to.
for the developer, that'll be part of their negotiations to remove it from current use and pay those land use changes.
Liz, you have a question?
Yeah, I just have a concern, sort of two concerns. I think our staff does a great job. I just like to remind you that a lot of people during the pandemic made no money. Like if one of them had to stay home to teach the children, or one, a lot of us are per diem, so if we don't work, we don't get paid. It's not like we get paid. So I'd like to remind you that all the people in the town did continue to work, while there are a lot of people in the town that did not work. So I would like you to remember that, and also if you're gonna try to be competitive with with professionalism and background and so forth, if you have a very young and inexperienced department and you pay them a lot more money, that doesn't mean like their experience is commensurate necessarily with a lot more money. I just want you to keep that in mind. We have a very young police department. We have, 5 policemen and 9 cruisers, and they want different ones now. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts, and in order to be professional and get the top pay, you also have to have the people that put in that professionalism and that level of expertise to get that top pay, so.
But I know you realize that every time we lose an officer, it costs a lot of money to get another one.
Yes, I do absolutely understand that, and I
Okay.
don't think we're just losing officers because of pay.
Well, we appreciate your comments. Anything else? Anything
Make a
else?
motion, we go into non-public in accordance with chapter 91A, 311, A, B, C, D, E, and I.
Thank you all for coming, appreciate it.
All in favor, roll call.
Aye.
Aye.
Is this still up, Karen?
Yes, and the noise is already on, so I think we're good.
For compensation.
Good night, Sarah. Nice seeing you.